It's Punchlines. Who came up with the name Punchlines, Ann? Was it you? Yeah. Separating punch and lines. Punch for the jokes, lines for the gambling, and trademark that. Get petty cash, trademark it. Either way, it's going to be the name of the show for a long time. We have some laughs. We talk some gambling lines. I'm your host, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, Frank Nicotero. And today's show will have some irony, but not as much irony as the Minnesota Timberwolves, well, specifically the Denver Nuggets City Connect jerseys. So let's take a look at those City Connect jerseys of the Denver Nuggets, because we know that the city is elevated 5,280. That's the Mile High City. There you go.
Yep.
And last night's game,
at one point, the score was
80-52. Okay, so let's. I just popped in to say hi to Chris Andrews, the director here. I think people were thinking Denver. You were on Minnesota. You weren't here yesterday. Oh, wait.
Keith Lyle was as
well.
Hold
on, wait. Behind the glass, where he is kept crisp like a head of lettuce. It's Ryan B. McCormick. The B is for back. He's back. Ryan, there he is. How are you feeling today?
Much better.
Much better? Good.
Yeah.
All right, back to Minnesota and Denver. You, from your couch, in all your headache, bed. All right. You said you like both underdogs in the association.
Yep.
Keith Lyle was here yesterday, came in with Ron Futrell. Guys did a fantastic job. Keith also liked Minnesota, and this was never a game.
No. And without Rudy Gobert, too, for the Wolves.
I mean,
and so
this team's scary. They are 6-0.
Yep. They swept the first round, and now
how the hell did
games on the road?
I remember when Keith was talking about the pick, he liked it at 5.5, and then it went up to 7, I think. I mean, I didn't bet. I was like, I loved it, but I got too busy doing other stuff, and I didn't put a bet in. I know, amateur hour. But they just look really good.
Yeah, and Denver doesn't look like a defending champ.
It's so hard to repeat. Yeah, it's such a grind. But anyway, I don't know. Minnesota, they're exciting to watch, too.
Yeah.
They're a fun team to watch.
Edwards is very fun to watch.
And I'll root for the Wolves. They're easy to root for. Who am I going to root for in the West? Who else is there? I mean, Oklahoma.
Yeah, but then they've got that commercial, and it's just getting annoying.
Yeah, I could root for the T-Wolves. By the way, Minnesota's in the West, which is weird.
Yeah.
They're way up here.
So is New Orleans.
That's a good point. And Utah's called the Jazz. A lot of problems in the NBA.
Yeah.
I know you're bummed about your Vegas Golden Knights. Sorry about that, bud.
It's all right. I expected it.
I had 2 fingers last night of the whiskey, the gold bar whiskey that I told you I bought at Costco of the commemorative Vegas Golden Knights. I said I'd save you some and bring it in and let you have it. I will bring that in. It's on the. I should have brought it today. I kind of forgot.
You're that close to the end.
Well, I shook it and then I go, there's a little more than I thought. So maybe I'll have like one more nightcap and then you'll have a taste. Then you'll have that nice gold bar.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
So anyway, folks, they're out. And you know we love Doritos on the show. That's not a segue whatsoever. Golden Knights are eliminated, and you know how we love Doritos.
Well, who else? Another team that's eliminated.
Another team. I guess that's how we connected it. That's how it worked last night when I typed this up. There's a new flavor of Doritos available north of the border. They're extra salty. Doritos Nacho Year. And there you see the Toronto Maple Leafs, who once again, they just can't get over the hump.
Yeah, the stat next to it is they are one of 5 teams
can we see
in
that
the
again,
NHL that have never played a game in the month of June.
So who do you have on there? You have the Seattle Kraken. All right, come on.
Newest,
They've been around
newest expansion team. Yeah. The Minnesota Wild, who got a team after the North Stars moved to Dallas.
To Dallas, right.
And then the Columbus Blue Jackets.
They've been around a while.
And the Arizona Coyotes will never get to play.
No, the Arizona Coyotes will never play.
And the Toronto Maple Leafs continue to fall flat on their face.
And then you have a little picture of Drake there.
Yeah.
Canadian rapper Drake, who loves the Raptors and loves the Leafs.
Yeah, I threw that in there specifically because the title of it is Toronto L's.
Oh, see, I didn't get that. Kane's laughing. And do you get that?
Drew Dog laughed too. Yeah.
What? Why? Drew Dog? Why is the L's? Someone tell.
It's his beef with Kendrick. He's catching nothing but L's.
Okay, nothing but losses.
Yes.
Okay.
L's.
I'm aware of Kendrick Lamar. He's from L.A. I remember when he was first coming on the scene. Right, I was like, "Holla at your boy." Do they still say that? People in the okay. So I know there's a beef going on. Who put out a diss track? Kendrick Lamar put a track out about Drake dissing him.
Drake was first.
Drake was first.
Drake and J. Cole went together and brought up Kendrick, and then Kendrick went on something with Future and Metro Boomin, and then they went at it, and now it's just Drake and Kendrick.
He saw the future. He looked into the future.
Yeah. That's actually Sierra's Russell Wilson is future.
Oh, right. It's welcome to Rap Lines, ladies and gentlemen. It's a new show here at South Point where we discuss all the beefs. By the way, and dis means disrespecting.
Call us Arby's.
What's that?
Said call us Arby's.
Because we have the meats?
Farbies.
Okay. We just talk about like Sticks and REO Speedwagon for a second and Journey for Ann and I. All right. So anyway, no hockey in Canada for them. Good. All right. On the show today, speaking of hockey, again, another segue. Yucks and Pucks from my man Joe Bartnick, fellow Pittsburgher who is a hockey fanatic and a very funny guy who will be talking Stanley Cup playoffs, which I hope you have some questions. I have actually a couple questions. And of course, he will offer a pick at 12:36. Reno Paul is a huge fan of the jingle. Says he finds himself walking around the house singing it at times. He's a very lonely man. No, he has a lovely wife, Colleen. So there you go. Did you whisper something a minute ago?
Well, I just my Blackhawks tie. The NFL draft lottery is tonight as well. So,
well, that's what I want to. I want you to talk to Joe about that.
Yeah.
The lottery. What number are they picking?
Well, that's the point of the lottery, Frank.
Oh, yeah. That's not the draft. It's the lottery. That's right. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have that whiskey last night. Huh? I was celebrating Kane's birthday. I was like, Kane, wherever you are. Woo! The Penguins could be pretty high, right?
The Penguins
because they didn't make the playoffs.
Like a 0.5% chance to have the number 1 overall pick.
That kind of happened with Fleury, didn't it? I think they had a really low chance with Fleury. But anyway.
But the Penguins also have to give up their first-round pick to the San Jose Sharks. Because of the trade, I believe, for Erik Karlsson.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good trade.
And so if it's a top 10 pick, the Penguins can keep it for this year, but they have to give up next year's first.
Oh, it's a little, let's make a deal. Which box? The big bucks or the little
box? Those NBA lottery protected.
Protected is the word. Oh, very interesting. All right, Ryan. Well, I know you'll have some questions for Joe Bartnick, who I'm excited. Joe Bartnick does a couple different hockey podcasts, one of them with a comedian named Fraser Smith. Fraser is playing Brad Garrett along with John Knight, who I know from Pittsburgh. Both of them will be in the studio this week. And tomorrow we have Jacqueline Marfugi. Jacqueline, who's been here before on Show 56, where she wore a Lawrence Taylor jersey. Jersey girl. She's coming in, and you can catch her at the Magic Mike live show where she's an MC. I know Caden is probably going to want to go and get you tickets. So, we got a lot of comics coming up this week, but Joe Bartnick today will be great. Today is May 7th, 2024. It's Poem on Your Pillow Day, and we have a little graphic here. So I was thinking, oh, Ryan, you were probably in bed yesterday. It would have been a nice time. So I'm going to write a poem tonight, and I'll take a picture welcoming you back because you're supposed to do it today to celebrate, so you have to do it at night. It's not, you can't do it yesterday and celebrate today. So National Poem Day. It's all fascinating.
Don't wake up to a poem.
Let's take a look at the live chat room. Who do we have on there today? So I wanted to specifically say, is Daniel Pacheco or?
Yeah, he was in there first.
Okay.
He wanted to give us he wanted to give Keith and myself props, and then he had
Minnesota.
Keith with Minnesota, and then myself with Minnesota and the Pacers, and then Daniel Pacheco said the Pirates would raise the Jolly Roger last night.
The Pirates did raise the Jolly Roger, and we will get to that in a second, actually, because I'm going to bring that up in 1 second. Why don't we do it right now? Lines of the night. I have one. I'll do it right now because it has to do with the Pirates. I bet the Pirates, and I bet Rowdy Tellez over. Oh, no, that was Sunday. Anyway, I had the Pirates to win last night. Mitch Keller pitched a phenomenal game, went the distance, second complete game of his career. And the game, here's the line of the night for me, 1 hour, 55 minutes. Boom, over. Like, what do you do with the rest of your night then in Pittsburgh? We used to 155 would be you'd be lucky to get there by the fifth inning. I wonder how beer sales with this pitch clock, how that's been affected. Jay Kuda or someone has to come up with a stat because they cut off beer sales usually at the end of the seventh. The end of the seventh is like an hour and a half into the game now.
Right.
And it used to be about 3 hours into the game. I mean, we're talking like half beer sales possibly. So I don't know. Very interesting. And you had a good line of the night as well. Line of the night is where we kind of look at a line or a funny line or an interesting line, and Ryan has one.
Well, mine was more of an announcement by the NBA. Their rookie of the year was Victor Wembanyama.
No surprise.
And so the Spurs tweeted out a little video with the trophy and everything. So he had 1,522 total points.
Unbelievable.
128 three-pointers made as a 7-footer.
7+.
Amazing. 254 blocks and 755 rebounds. And then there was another tweet So he averaged 21.4 points per game in 71 games, 10.6 rebounds per game, so a double-double, 3.9 assists per game, 3.6 blocks per game, 1.2 steals per game. He had 5
by 5 games. That's where he fills the line, right? Points, rebounds, steals, assists, everything.
Stat sheet stuffer. 43 double-doubles and 2 triple-doubles.
He's a rookie. He's 20 years old. The West will run through San Antonio like it did a while back. They just got to get a surrounding cast around him. He's unbelievable. Every night you watch, he's on highlights every night.
Yep.
Every night. Chet Holmgren, after the first week of the season, everyone on ESPN, oh, we told you Holmgren's going to be Rookie of the Year. Sit down, all right? Let Wembanyama cook, and look what he did. He's unbelievable.
Yep.
Let's see here. So Frank needs to release a diss track. I could do that. Who would I diss? Costco?
We can go at each other. Said?
I lost everything. I just today, I took the wrong way to get here. Everything, it's just one of those days, but it's going to be a great show because in a matter of minutes, Joe Bartnick's going to be on. Right now, it's time to look back at 100 shows ago. It was Friday, December 15th. 100 shows ago today was our 48th episode, and it was National Ugly Sweater Day. And Alex, Ryan, and I all came dressed accordingly, and it's the first time I think I ever had touched Ryan.
You thinked.
Took 48 shows. If you're wondering why we're so colorful today on set, today is National Ugly Sweater Day, ladies and gentlemen. 'Tis the season to rock ugly sweaters. Alex, you're rocking, let's see here. This is the best one ever. All I want for Christmas is the over. Are we seeing that? There it is. All I want for Christmas is the over. Ryan, also epic. It's the Christmas tuxedo t-shirt. It's very lightweight, too, because I touched you, which I rarely have touched you. That came off really weird. He walked by me,
what did you say?
and I said, oh, that's great. And I put my hand on your and I touched you. It's all muscle. He's solid as a rock, this guy. And I touched his phone. I was like, and all I thought was the material's very lightweight, very breathable. Yep. You probably work out in that. Probably go to the gym in that.
Could, yeah.
Turn some heads. And I am wearing one Sean brought in for me as a favor here. This has got flamingos on it. And I put the flamingo one on because my mom loves flamingos. So, Mom, that's does. Oh, we're on. All right. Anyway, just looking at some live chats, Joey B, Daniel Pacheco. Listen, we'd like to get a fan pick from one of you guys. So if you want to contact us on Twitter, or if you go to Ryan or me, whatever. So Joey B or Daniel, later this week, pick a day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, send in a 30-second video of a pick of the day, and we'll air it on the show. We like keeping you guys involved because you guys are so special to this show. Joey B says Frank needs to release a diss track of how loud and annoying SoFi Stadium is. Something that Joe Bartnick, our guest, can probably back up. I assume he's been to SoFi and how loud it is. Aaron O'Connor says Frazier. Yes, Frazier Smith will be here. Joe knows all about Frazier. And Bob Dell mentions it's National Teacher Day. Who is your favorite teacher? Mrs. Carlin, Mr. Woffington, or Mr. Will? That's a tough one. I'd probably go Mr. Woffington and Mr. Will. Who's your favorite teacher of all time, Ryan?
I had a Miss Russell, Mr. Egbert. Egbert. Yeah, we called him Eggy.
Wow, I would think so.
And then one of my professors, Professor Coombs.
Okay. Professor. Oh, I never had a professor. I didn't go no fancy, no college. And they went 22-60. Okay, Paul. There's Paul, Reno Paul, who's a Laker diehard. And they went 22. Yeah, they did, because they only had one good player. He's speaking of the Spurs. And Frank can't touch right now that he's an employee. Okay, anyway, let's get to our special guest. I just mentioned hockey. We talked about yucks and pucks. We talked about Frazier Smith. We talked about SoFi. This gentleman right here will be able to answer questions and everything. You've seen him in the movie Old Dads, which is really funny on Netflix. After you watch the Tom Brady roast, everyone's watching. You want some more Bill Burr, and you want some of Joe Bartnick, check out Old Dads. He has a special, A Killing in Chicago, on Amazon Prime, and he's heard weekly on WDV, tours all over the world. It's my man, Joe Bartnick. Joe, welcome back to the show.
What's happening, Frank and Ryan? How you doing?
We're doing good. Joe, listen, I got to tell you, I follow you on TikTok and Instagram, and as I'm scrolling through, I always get to it's that close-up of you doing your daily hockey recap, and you're always smiling to make sure it's still rolling, and then you get into it. And I wrote you last night. These are always great. They're always excellent.
Oh, thank you. Frank, it's nice to see you not dressed up for Halloween again.
You know
on
what?
The show.
Well, but I am wearing orange and black, though. There you go. What was
it's orange? I thought you were just showing your massive. I thought it was chest day today.
It does look skin tone, doesn't it? It does.
Absolutely. I was like, well, he's showing. I'm like, do you shave your chest for Vegas?
Well, we want to get the numbers up. So, yeah, we got to go a little. There you go for the ladies.
There you go.
So,
Man
wait a second.
has no nipples. What's going on?
It was a tragic accident on McKnight Road. So, wait a second, Joe. Was I dressed up last time?
I think it was episode 101.
What was that? What
was the Dalmatian episode?
Oh, when I had to dress as a Dalmatian.
Every bet you lose, it doesn't cost you a finger. It costs you your dignity.
It costs dignity. Joe, I had to wear a Cleveland Browns jersey on one show. I had to dress as a Dalmatian.
I was on that one.
It seems like you're always there for my my humbling moments. Where are you located? You're in LA right now, right? I know you're traveling.
I
soon.
live in Pasadena, correct?
That's right. You're a 626. Let's just give out Joe's number, 626. Anyway, so Joe, Ryan's very excited. He's a Chicago Blackhawk fan, and the lottery is tonight. Now, the Penguins, I understand, he just informed me, have a 0.5% chance of getting into the lottery, right? So it doesn't look good for the Penguins there.
Well, they're not allowed to actually go to number one.
Okay.
They're only allowed to go up. They're allowed to move up 10 spots.
Okay.
So, and the beauty is that's not even our pick anymore anyway.
Right. It's
We're
San
gonna give it
Jose's.
away.
Right? Okay. Right.
Yes. So.
So are you excited? Is that something, or you just look at it after it happens? It goes, all right, I can see where these players are going to fall.
I actually watch the lottery if I'm available to, so I may watch it tonight. I have a gig down in Huntington Beach, so I'm going to be watching the first game. If it bleeds in, I can watch it. I will. Yeah, there's something about that lottery effect that get your goosebumps going. You know, who's going to win? I remember when we won Sidney Crosby, I had to be the only person west of the Mississippi watching it on my laptop. And it was the highest I've ever jumped in my life. I jumped in the air.
Now they also did Fleury go overall number 1 too?
Yes.
Yeah, he did, right? And that was like a year or two later, and that's when the Penguins weren't supposed to be able to get the number 1 again, right? Wasn't it a long shot? I can't remember.
No, it was actually a couple years before. And that wasn't a lottery. That was a well-earned we suck.
Oh, okay. All right. They earned that one. The Crosby one. Yeah. Could you imagine if he could have went somewhere else? Now, I mentioned this before. The Steelers with Terry Bradshaw. The Bears and the Steelers were both tied for the worst record in the NFL the year Bradshaw came out of Louisiana Tech. It came down to a coin flip. And someone, I think it was Reno Paul, he was like, what? And I Googled it. It was a coin flip. Imagine if that coin flip goes the other way. Those two cities' fortunes in football alone. But Pittsburgh, the city in the 70s, was saved by the Steelers. Could you imagine him in a Bears uniform? Or, I mean, it came down to a coin flip.
And now he would have been a Steeler like 3 years later, the way the Bears go right now.
Yes,
he still would have been a Steeler. He just would have been ruined.
Yeah. Excellent joke.
But the Steelers, I mean, they really were Pittsburgh. You know, they were the only thing we had. Pittsburgh is such a great city now, but that all happened in about the year 2000 to right now. You know, when I was growing up, it was the Depression. You either became a cop, you went to jail, you joined the army, or you moved to Houston. There was nothing to do, right?
Or you become a comic, yeah.
Frank, you went to Kennywood, you played with the hose, and that was it.
Played with the hose. Yeah, that was our bottled water back then. A nice, warm, rubbery tasting sip of water. Was never refreshing, but we thought it was great. And then if you had the nozzle and you could open it up and like that, that was probably not a good look to do on the show. Sorry.
I mean, the wave pool was $5. I'm going to hold the hose and you're going to run under it. Like we didn't even have a sprinkler. We had my mom hold the hose.
Now, there was the wave pool was on Campbell's Run. I only went once or twice because it was so far from the North Hills. I don't know if it's still there. Is it?
Well, there was one in South Park because I'm a South Hills kid.
Yeah, that's
the one we went to. There was one at the airport.
Yeah,
I think
that's the one by the airport. Yeah, Campbell's Run Road. I think it was on. I just remember that exit. All right, let's get to hockey because Joe, that's what you love the most. So the NHL playoffs are happening right now, and the Rangers. The little I've watched of the Rangers, they just seem really, really good right now, and I don't like seeing the Rangers really good. But tell us your take on what you think of the playoffs so far. Ryan's a little depressed because his Golden Knights are out, but what do you think so far of the NHL playoffs?
Well, I'm proud of myself. This was the first year in a few that I went 7 for 8 in the first round.
Whoa!
And yeah, for a good 10 years, I was kicking ass. But then the last couple of years, it's been terrible. So I'm glad to be back in the green. I actually it's a day later, but I actually like Carolina versus the Rangers. I think they're a deeper team. And Freddie Anderson looked really good in the first round, the best he's ever looked in net. But now it's almost like the bubble's bursting for Freddie. But I still like Carolina in that series. I think they're deeper. But the Rangers, for the first time in game one against Carolina, the stars showed up. We love Vinny Trocheck, the Pittsburgh kid. But when Vinny Trocheck, he's turned himself into a great hockey player. But when he's your best player, you're not a Stanley Cup contending team. But then you saw in game one of the Carolina series, Zibanejad had 2 goals. Breadman looked amazing. So kind of their big stars are rising to the occasion. It's time for Carolina stars to rise up as well. But I like Carolina in a hard-fought 7-game series. I can't go against what I already picked just to look smart after game one.
Well, what was your one loss? You said you went 7 of 8 in the first round. Who did you have?
I like a moron. I thought Toronto could finally break the curse.
They are just cursed. I don't know if you saw the Doritos we put up at Nacho Year. That someone put out a meme with the. Do you have that for Joe to see? Is that possible? Yeah. They just here it is. There it is, right there. So Nacho Year, extra salty.
That's great.
That's great. And their colors. So Ryan wanted to talk a little hockey.
That really is great.
That is great.
Can you text me that?
I will. Yes, sir. I will make sure that happens, Joe. For you, anything. Ryan wanted to talk a little hockey with you.
Going to that other series in the Eastern Conference, the Bruins stole game one, winning 5-1 last night after the Panthers took a week off, having won their series early. Do you think that the game one result was because Florida had a week off and they will get back to kind of their form in game two, or is Boston kind of going to be the team to take that series over?
I think Florida is going to win this series. Sometimes you get a team that's just running on pure adrenaline. They win a game 7, they come barging down to your barn, and you've been off for a week playing patty cake and running around the beach, and then all of a sudden you're in game 1. So right. I still like Florida a lot to win that series. Florida is packed, and Bobrovsky is playing better than he ever has in the playoffs. He outdueled Vasilevsky, which is something to say. And I think they're going to get Sammy Bennett back, who kind of broke his arm on a puck against Tampa. So he's a big cog in that machine. I just think Florida is the much better team. I look at Boston. Boston's kind of the Islanders with pasta and the rat. I'm not trying to knock a team that beat and knocked out the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I just don't see. Boston just worked hard and just. If Swayman can steal the series, though, Swayman is playing out of his mind, which goes to show you how dumb the whole goalie tandem thing is. Frank, it's kind of like in football. If you have 2 goaltenders, you don't have it. If you have 2 quarterbacks, right. Pick one. I would have traded Allmark at the deadline and got somebody else because, you only need one goalie. This back and forth thing, Montgomery finally woke up, or Cam Neely hit him in the head with a stick and said, "You're only playing Swayman." I don't know, but I still like Florida in the series. I think they have an abundance of talent.
Okay, and did you ever spend time with the Stanley Cup when maybe the Penguins won? Have you ever held the Stanley Cup or been around it?
Well, I'm not allowed to touch the Stanley Cup. I was with Jimmy Pack.
Jimmy Pack. Yeah,
CJ Barney's.
Okay. Oh my God! Wow. No way. That's very cool. Yeah, it's really special now, and it's grown to me when Phil Bork used to do the DV morning show when I was a regular in the early '90s. So we had softball games every Monday at Butya's, which was this bar out by the airport. And that night, Phil Bork, it was I was on the show that morning. I was on Mondays. They're like, he's bringing the cup to the game. I'm like, what? So I got to hold the Stanley Cup, and, we got to take pictures, and Bork came and posed for pictures. And because I was a diehard baseball football guy, I didn't appreciate the Stanley Cup that much yet. And as I've grown to like hockey even more and become a fan, I didn't realize how special of a moment that was, because I know diehard people are like, I would kill to do what you did. And I'm just like, yeah, I didn't. At the time, it was no big deal, but it really is special.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to touch it, but I've never touched it. I'm half blind, so I've just had to squint to see. There's Ronnie Francis, there's Lemieux, but I've never touched it, and I'm certainly never put it. I think over your head is a mortal sin, Frank. I think I go to confession.
Oh God, really? I don't. Was I not supposed to do this?
Yeah,
I do.
I think you have had to have won. That's why those guys wear the white gloves, so they can strangle you and not leave any fingerprints.
You've heard of all the stories of these guys throwing it in pools and doing all sorts of stuff with it. Right. So you got to remember, this was 1991, I guess, or 92. So back then, maybe they didn't protect it as much, but Phil Borg, we just left. It was like sitting behind home plate during our softball game on the ground.
Oh yeah, no, it was way before they got the two guys in the white gloves. That was the era where anything goes. But I just know that it's kind of like a thing where you don't put it over you can touch it as a civilian, but you never raise it over your head.
Right, only hockey
as a
guys.
Civilian.
Oh no, I wasn't.
Last year, Ron Futrell put it over his
What's
head.
that?
Ron Futrell put it over
Ron
his head.
Futrell, a local sports guy here who was on our show yesterday, he put it over his head too.
It's on his Facebook.
Oh yeah, I have to find my
Knights lost.
I have to. It's why the Knights lost. I'll have to send you my picture. I didn't realize. Well, I know. I remember when Sidney Crosby didn't want to. Is it what's the trophy that when you win the conference you're not supposed to touch?
Well, each conference has their own one. So one has the Campbell Trophy, one has the Prince of Wales.
Right. Okay, and you're not supposed to touch it. But then didn't Crosby finally?
That's not the one you want.
Yeah, right. But Crosby finally did one year, didn't he? After they'd already won a cup, didn't he grab it?
Yes, some teams do, some teams don't. It's one of those things. It's like a coin flip. You either get Terry Bradshaw or you're in the lottery next year.
Well, Keith Lyle brings up a good point. He goes, if Bradshaw becomes a Bear, the Bears never get Walter Payton. So that's a good point. But I mean, he ended up winning a Super Bowl. But that's a good point. But who knows? I just can't imagine Pittsburgh without Bradshaw. Because I don't think Hanratty or Gillum was going to take us to the Super Bowl the way Bradshaw won 4. The Blackhawks, Jefferson Joe, yeah, Joe Gillum. So Mini Dar is saying the Blackhawks pick will be no worse than 4th, Ryan.
It can't.
It can't be worse than 4th. The way they protected. All right. Well, is there a stud in the hockey draft like
Macklin Celebrini?
Whoa, wait, what's that name?
Macklin Celebrini. Kid played for Boston University this past year.
Oh, BU. Okay, and is this an Italian kid, by the way? Joe, is this a Paisan?
I think he's from Canada.
He sounds like it. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
He had 64 total points in 38 games.
Yeah, right. Me too. What was that, right?
He had 64 total points in 38 games last year at BU.
Whoa.
So 32 goals, 32
He was
assists.
a junior Shark, too. So it would be huge if he gets to go back to the Sharks.
No, Ryan's shaking. Go Hawks. What's Chicago's chance of getting the top pick?
They have a 13.5% chance. They're the second highest odds.
That ain't bad. That's not bad. You could have him and Bednar. Oh my God! I said Bednar, the reliever of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Celebrini turns 18 in next month.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow. Oh my God.
So he's 17 years old right now.
Jeez. Joe, are you following baseball? Are you a baseball fan too, as well?
I'm really not a baseball fan at all.
Okay.
I enjoy going to the ball game, take my dad and have a couple beers and a hot dog, and then I just start counting outs. Like, when can we beat the traffic?
Well, listen, the games aren't as bad. I mentioned earlier in the show with the pitch clock now. The Pirate game last night, Mitch Keller pitched a complete game, hour and 55 minutes. You can be down at Donzi's by 10 now. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, that means if you go to a Dodger game, you won't even see the game.
That's true.
It'll be over by the time you get to your seat.
You'll come to. They always come. It's funny he says that. Dodger fans get a bad rap for showing up late and leaving early. It's 110% true, and I've done that because it's almost impossible with LA traffic to make a 7:05 start unless you leave. Caden knows, and then you're like, oh God, there's 50,000 people here. The Dodgers are up 8-1. I'm going to get the hell out of here, and you leave. I mean, honestly, you have to do it because people don't understand the time investment to go see a Dodger game because it's in the middle of a ravine and it's far from where you live. It's just, it's a beautiful stadium and I like the Dodgers a lot, but it's a day. It's a whole day.
But see, the way I was raised is you never miss opening faceoff and you never miss kickoff. Like, that's just the way I was raised.
Never miss kickoff. Yeah, I agree.
Always stay till the end. Now my father's a little older. We'll leave. We kind of get a head start. Hey, let's get over here now down the first base line. Let's get here for baseball. But hockey, like, I understand it. Penguin fans get a bad rap for leaving early. But hey, I don't mind in December. You got 3 kids going to preschool. You got to get up at 7 a.m. and we're winning 4-1. Okay, you're going to beat the traffic. I'm watching playoff games where it's like 3-1. Your team pulls the goalie. You have a chance. Stranger things have happened. And these people are leaving. Where are you going in Winnipeg at 9 o'clock? You got to run up the stairs to get out of there.
That could be a chapter of your book. Where are you going in Winnipeg? I like that, Joe. So, Joe, let's talk
to the bar is where I'm going.
To the bar. Let's talk a little comedy here. You're leaving. Are you traveling this weekend? Did you say or no? I know you have something down in Huntington tonight.
I'm actually shooting a pilot for a sitcom this week. Knock on wood.
Come on, there you go.
And then And then next week, I will be with Bill Burr in Columbus, Nashville, and somewhere in North Carolina. But then the 23rd, the day before, Thursday before Memorial Day weekend, I'm at the Pittsburgh Improv. So everybody come on out.
Oh, yeah. Did you say the day before Memorial Day?
The Thursday before the Memorial Day 500 on DVD.
Dude, that's where I was going with this, Joe. Joe, that's what I was going to talk about. There's a radio station that every year they count down the top 500 classic rock songs. And it was, I mean, this is before phones and the internet. We would sit around all weekend drinking and listening on a boombox to see if Stairway to Heaven was going to be number one, or if the Pink Floyd song, We Don't Need No Education. I did leave them, whatever.
Another brick in the wall.
Another brick in the wall. Jesus.
Back in Black won it like 5 years ago. There's been some some upsets. Yeah, people get so into it. I was doing gigs in Boca Raton like 2 years ago. We're on the beach listening to the boombox. People were glued to the radio.
It was a big thing, man. So listen, I know Bill Burr's in Unfrosted. I haven't seen Unfrosted yet. Have you watched this movie? This is the Seinfeld written and directed movie about the creation of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, the commercial looks great. I'm going to watch it at some point.
Yeah, I got to get to that.
I'm behind on everything. I'm behind on the roast.
Yes, that's the other thing on Netflix. Ryan, have you watched any of the roast?
Yeah, I watched the whole roast.
It's 3 hours, by the way. Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, well, maybe he didn't have such a bad headache now, and if he could sit there and watch. Oh, yeah.
That was the night the headache started.
Because you were laughing so hard. I heard Nikki Glazer on Stern. Heard she was great. But no, I want to watch it, but. And Brady took it all in stride, right? I mean, he really was a good sport, except for the Robert Kraft joke.
Yeah.
Can't mention massage parlors and Robert Kraft. That was the only joke that kind of got missed.
I heard a great theory on that he mentioned it, and then Brady took offense in such a grandiose way, so then no one else could do it, but yet it was out there. So everyone at home for 3 hours is thinking, hey, when are they going to mention the massage jokes early on? Boom, squashed. They don't have to talk about it anymore. The other... And I don't think I'm using this word right because I don't really know what the word meta means, but I kind of use it sometimes to sound smart.
Right.
The other meta kind of thing is, right, he got to have some of the world's most famous comedians and real ass kickers.
Yeah.
Crap on his wife for 3 hours.
Oh, my God, yeah. I guess
without having to do it himself. That's brilliant.
That's why he's the GOAT. I heard Nikki Glazer on Howard Stern say the one thing they said, just no kids. Don't mention his kids, and that was fine. And the one joke she said that she had to cut was something about him kissing his son or something. I can't remember, because remember he kissed his son after the one, and she talked about kissing her dad. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I definitely want to watch it, and I know Netflix is going to be doing a lot more live stuff, so that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, they got the live fight.
I was. Hopefully, I can get on some stuff. I did the Bill Burr's Friends Who Killed the last time they had the festival like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But this time, I didn't get any big shows with it, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. What were you saying? Oh, the fight. Tyson versus Paul is going to be. Do you follow boxing at all? I know you like fighting in hockey, probably. What do you think about boxing?
I love boxing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things though where it's like soccer. I just love watching it, but I don't know anybody's names really or paying attention.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Oh, Joe, we lost your audio for a second. We lost. Damn, did we lose it? All right, shall I wrap them up? Joe, if you can hear me, we can't hear you, but so we'll just go. We usually do picks at 12:36. I wanted to get a pick from Joe. Joe, do you have a pick in who's playing in hockey tonight?
Tonight,
it
is the Stars and Avalanche are playing.
Okay,
and the Rangers and Hurricanes are playing.
So, Joe, we're gonna get your pick. Hurricanes, Rangers, Avalanche, or Stars. Which one do you like tonight as a pick that we like to give out to our viewers? And then Ryan and I will talk. Just like slowly move your mouth to who you like. Do you have a piece of paper you can write something on? Put it right.
I think he said Stars.
Stars? Did you say Dallas Star? Here, we'll go down. Did you say Dallas?
It's charades. Play charades with him.
Yes.
Dallas is. He likes Dallas. All right, Dallas Stars at home.
Is it because of that same point of they just finished a game 7, they have momentum, and then Colorado was.
Yes. Okay. Good. Ryan, you're good at this. And then you said you like the Hurricanes to win that series. Do you like the Hurricanes tonight to even it up? Thumbs up. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take it to Joe. I can't thank you enough. You are always entertaining and informative. I wish you nothing but success. And when you come to Vegas, well, we can't talk to. When you come to Vegas eventually, you have to come here. Okay, there you go. You can follow Joe Bartnick at Joe Bartnick. You can follow him on social media. And I will send you that Toronto Nacho Year meme. It's on its way. We're going to take a commercial break, come back with picks. Joe Bartnick, thank you.
Joe.
Always killer. Thumbs up.
From the South Point studio, the perfect blend of sports,
But I think the Niners are going to wear him down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
comedy,
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
I am beautiful.
and a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. For Rio.
and host Frank Nicotero.
When I look at the clock, I go, ah!
Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
Once you've satisfied your hunger, get ready for more of the hottest casino games in Vegas. Our 24-hour, 30-table non-smoking poker room proudly hosts all the most popular poker games with a variety of betting limits. Visit the poker room for a schedule of daily tournaments. Whether you're going to hold 'em or fold 'em, the best place for poker is at South Point Casino. You'll notice that our craps tables are usually the loudest in the casino. If you've never played, join one of our free craps lessons to find out what makes this game so exciting. Check with the craps dealer for schedules and give it a roll. Bingo is
Punchline picks at 12:36. Boom! There you go. We got 3 from Joe, or 2. We got Dallas,
Carolina.
Carolina, and then that was it. And then that was it.
He likes the Blackhawks for the number 1 overall pick.
And he's always amazing. So thank you.
Did you want to show his free?
Yeah. So we lost audio. There's the freeze frame. Wait, so this is now how the show is frozen. Joe.
Not pushing audio, but he's pushing something.
There you go. Anyway, he's great. That commercial rules, says Big Booty Bets. Oh my God, Ryan, you're a star. Wait, are you in the ad?
It was our Punchlines commercial.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Folks, when we go to break, all I do is go to the computer to find more comedy and more magic. So I didn't even notice it was our commercial.
Cut together by Drew Dog.
Cut together by Drew Dog, and my buddy Bob did the voiceover. Bob Dell, who may or may not be watching. Let's see. Let's check in with our live guys. Played with the hose. Yes, hose, Hose, Keith. Never mind.
Yeah,
At first,
we all heard that.
I did think that, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. Classic, yeah. Okay, so Keith Law brings up a good point. Classic Rob top 500. How could it possibly change from year to year? I know. It was always the same, but you had to see what top 10. It was Hotel California would be in there. It's always like, oh, well, it was always Led Zeppelin. Stairway to Heaven was always number 1 when I was a kid. What's that? Well, listen, DVE Radio, they replayed that. They played that song like all the time. So it was like, yeah. If I hear that it starts with those chimes, boo, as soon as I hear it, change the station. Although I'm on satellite radio now, so I really don't.
The other one I can't.
Hotel California?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to listen to that in your car or you'll get into a car accident. Someone told me this story. Yeah, someone told me this years ago. So now if it comes on and I'm a giant Eagles fan, I will turn it off. Eagles were rumored to be playing the Sphere. They're going to be doing a residency at the end of the year, I think. If they do, I will go more than one time because that'll probably be it for the Eagles. Huge fan. I think the roast could have potential to revitalize comedy. No one was afraid to get canceled. Very funny, Paul. Good point. Ryan, you're a star. And Kate Hudson was on the Stern Show. I heard a little of that. But interesting. Yeah, Peyton would have never become a Chicago Bear had you guys gotten Bradshaw. So we'll never know unless we time travel in that guy's shed on TikTok, the time traveling shed. Have you seen that? Social media? Anyone? All right.
It looks like the Eagles will be here in June.
In June? All right, the Eagles are coming. All right, time for picks at 12:39. Here we go. So we got Joe's picks, but Ryan and I still had a pick. Ryan, what do you have for tonight for the fans watching? Ryan, I believe you were 3-0, 4-1, something like that on picks. I don't know if you're keeping track. I believe I was around 3-1 or 4-1. Go for it.
I'll go to the diamond. I will take my Chicago Cubbies against the San Diego Padres. Shota Imanaga is on the mound. He is 5-0 this year in his starts. He has a .78 ERA. And the Padres are pitching Randy Vasquez, who has given up 11 hits in 7 innings. 2 of them are homers, and he has a .587 ERA. So hopefully the Cubbies can banging on early.
Yeah, 5 and his ERA is 7.78.
0.78.
And he's technically a rookie. I want Jared Jones to win the Rookie of the Year, though.
Yeah.
So I need him to slow down.
No.
Yes.
No. I honestly hope he gets to 20 games, 20 game winner.
They're not going to put that many innings. I don't know.
He's been pitching in Japan professionally. It's not like he's a college kid.
That's why he shouldn't be Rookie of the Year, because I don't have a future on him. I have a future on a true rookie. It's like Ichiro winning Rookie of the Year. These Dodger lines yesterday was 340 with Walker Buehler on the hill. Today with Yamamoto, who's 3-1, having a nice year. After that brutal outing he had in Korea against I almost said Chargers, against the Padres, got shelled. His ERA is back to a respectable 2.91. I looked at the Astros. The Astros and Yankees hate each other, right? Yankees feel like they robbed them. And Verlander on the hill. Yankees are only a slight favorite in that game. The Astros have not played well, but Verlander is a big game pitcher. If you want an underdog, I would look at Justin Verlander in the Big Apple. He lives for the big stage, and he's a future Hall of Famer, and maybe the last guy to win 300 games if he gets there. And just because I always talk about the Pirates will win today. Quinn Priester, who has turned it around, who had a great outing against the Giants.
The Angels, you were saying was one of the worst pitchers in baseball.
I did say that, but he's turned it around. I said that 2 starts ago, and the last 2 starts he's looked good. But here's the other factor I'm figuring in. The Angels are horrible. Sandoval's almost near 6 ERA.
This is true.
The Angels are really bad, and I hate that because I am an Angels fan, and I do like Ron Washington a lot. They started out as at one point they were in first place, right? They lost their first 2 games, I think. Then they were like 5 or 2. It was like, hey, Angels are turning around. They've lost Trout. They're demoralized. They're gonna Rendon. I mean that organization's a mess right now. I think Ron Washington was a good hire.
They should move to Vegas.
I do like the Pirates at home. I really do. I of course I'm never betting against the Pirates, but I do like them in certain spots that I like to point out to you guys. I had them last night with Keller and Frankie Fungo like some time. Oh, I just revealed that I'm Frankie Fungo. Sound the horn! Oh, it's time for the post time, baby. We missed you yesterday. We didn't get to talk Derby with you. Did you watch the Derby, bet on the Derby?
No, I had to work over at the ballpark. So at the time that the race started, I was in my car driving to the ballpark, and then when I walked up, they were
I was there.
A replay.
I'm like, oh, you're at the ballpark on Saturday? Wait, I was too.
Yeah.
I saw you there. We talked. I forgot that I was there.
Yeah.
What was the final score of that game? 9-6?
Yeah.
It was 15 runs.
Yeah.
Funny how that worked out.
Yeah. The over-under was 14.5.
Oh! And late, it didn't look so good, right?
No, it didn't. Reno was up 9-1.
9-1, I think. When we got cut, we get cut early if the game's up. But yeah. But if anyone took the over on that game, wow, they
won by the hook. So Minigar brings a good point. Rainy and windy in Chicago today. Tornado watches also. So maybe.
Are you serious?
Maybe not the over. But I still.
Well, what if the tornado carries the ball and blows it out? By the way, why are tornadoes happening in the weirdest places? There was one in End of days, bro. Caden, right?
It's those weather machines.
It's the weather machine. Oh, it's the sea. It's the chemtrails screwing everything up. Anyway, speaking of Chicago, do you want to go there first?
Sure. Yeah. 6.
Or no? Do you want to go F1?
Well, we didn't bring up this one earlier, so we can stick with Chicago.
Okay, let's stick with Chicago. You're talking about the possible tornado. Hey, for Mother's Day fans, if you want to take your mom out to the worst baseball team, surprise her by getting her on the field. And the Tyrone Palmer said, "Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Now go warm up. We need at least 4 innings out of you today." That's funny. They are on pace for 140 losses, the White Sox. The record for losses in a season is 120. It's been done a couple times. They're bad. They're really bad.
Yeah.
And so surprised. That would be you know what? If you hate your mother, that's where you take her. Hey, Ma, guess what? You're on the field at a White Sox game.
We're going to the south side of Chicago.
Go to south side of Chicago on Mother's Day. And after this, we're going Red Lobster. All right. So anyway.
The opposite of Red Lobster
is
the F1 food.
The F1 food. Okay. Ryan took a day off, rested up. He's now the Segway King. The F1 race was in Miami. F1 races, FU prices. Okay, look at the prices on this. What do you want to point out here? I like that it's not. You could, if you gave someone $900, I don't know if you could get lunch. Point out a few of your favorites.
So lemon or Maine lobster rolls, $280.
How many do you get though?
Yeah,
It's like the empanadas. You go, oh my god, 120. But oh, it's the empanada duo. You get 2.
so you can add
Oh well, okay. Now I see. $60 a piece.
add 1 ounce of caviar to any item.
That's
is an extra $400.
That's like when you go to a Mexican restaurant. You're like, ooh, should I get the guac for $2.99? Caviar $400. Throw on the fish eggs. What?
Yeah.
Insane. Also, 5 chilled prawns, $290. But if you read the fine print, you do get the mustard sauce for free. They throw that in.
Mustard and cocktail sauce.
I know. Well, cocktail sauce you expect, right? I mean, but the mustard sauce, like, I thought that was gonna be well over $300. It's only $290, and you can add the caviar for $400. And then what was the fruit platter?
Well, so there was one more. The steamed buns.
Oh, what?
Steamed buns. So I'm guessing like Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, but there's something in them, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Shiitake,
Mushrooms.
vegetables, mayo, and chips for $120.
Right.
You're getting a little bit of a sandwich for $120.
Okay, but right below that is the one
below your prawn. Yeah, was the fruit refresher.
The fruit refresher. And can you go back to that, please? I'm sorry. The fruit refresher. Okay, what do you get?
You get pink pineapple,
right? Of
watermelon, stone fruit. How do you say it, Drew Dog? Rambutan?
Drew Dog, how do you say it? We're thinking it's rambutan.
Kiwi and coconut granita.
How much is that?
$190.
$190 plus with tip. You got to give them at least $195, $200. All right, so I'm going to be honest with you folks. I'm honest with you guys on this show. I didn't know what rambutan was. And there, and there it is. Show the rambutan. There you go. Looks refreshing on a hot Miami day. First of all, it looks like COVID. It looks like when you watched every news graphic during the pandemic, that's what, hey, who wants some COVID? It's on the fruit plate. And then you cut it open, and then it looks like a man with a receding hairline who's fighting it and not shaving the sides. Has anyone here had rambutan? Drew Dog had it at the Grove. And he found out he was allergic to it. Yeah. And by the way, you go to the emergency room. They're like, listen, we ran every fruit test on you. You're not allergic to it. You had what? Do we have the rambutan test? Kid might be allergic to, I don't know. Google it. Jesus, I don't know. Rambutan. Show Joe Bartnick looking at rambutan. Here's Joe Bartnick. Joe, take a look at the rambutan. There you go. There it is. That's his reaction to the rambutan. I am going to the supermarket today because I am out of my Pure Leaf iced tea that I love so dearly. If they have rambutan, I'm buying one, and I'm eating it here tomorrow live on the show. And you're trying some too. Drew Dog, you're having some too.
You can't. He's allergic.
Maybe, you lose allergy. Oh, you're off tomorrow, aren't you? No, he's got. I'll come in for a rambutan showdown. Kane, can you eat 3 rambutans in 1 minute? Probably. Oh my God. All right. So anyway, that's the F1 prices. That's insane. You got to spend $1,000 on lunch, and then you're holding your plate, right? So you're holding your plate, or it's probably on some sort of glass plate, and then the cars come by at 200 miles an hour and blow it right off the plate. Like, we just lost $1,000 on that. That's why in Vegas we don't do that kind of stupid stuff. You just get a hot dog, or
everything's better here.
Everything's better in Vegas. All right. So what's next? That was our F1 chunk of the day. That was good. That was fun. That was good fun right there.
Well, these next 2 posts are going to be talking about guys that can actually afford to buy food like
again. Stan, another segue. I've trained him so well. I've taught him. He's learned. Miyagi'd him so well on the segues. Yes. Who could afford it? This guy, Shohei Ohtani. Shohei, come on. Well, it's more like Shohei, come on. So they did this. Here's the thing about Shohei. I didn't realize how long his torso is. That must be where he generates all his power, because the man has legs of a dachshund and then he has the torso of a giraffe. So that's where he must generate his power. He has like 10 homers. I think he's had 4 in his last 5 games. I don't know. Reno Paul will correct me on that because he's probably betting that over. But that was the cover of the New Yorker called Showtime, and they had money spilling out of his pocket. Is this alluding to possible gambling? He's been cleared by a federal, not by baseball. He's been cleared by a federal look into the, it wasn't him. So he's, by the way, not affecting him. He's in 370.
Well, it was the cover of a magazine, and it's all a cover job for him with ePay.
Oh.
Keeps getting better.
Can you have a graphic to make my mind blow?
I think
Like
you
this
did it.
with the
Yeah,
hose?
with the
Yeah,
hose.
I have a feeling, Drew Dog, that should make the Monday montage next week. Make a note.
Definitely will.
I want to see me talking about the hoses. The award-winning Monday montage by Andrew, a.k.a. Drew Dog, with 2 Gs, by the way. And we might add a third G. Just saying, if he keeps producing. If he keeps 3, it might be triple G. All right. So anyway, that money, it's because maybe he makes $700 million, but he doesn't really make it because it's all
Deferred.
Deferred. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Who else has a lot of money that could afford the food?
The Baltimore Orioles owner.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
So they did a promotion. They're going to do a promotion this next week with something involving a pool. But they decided
There's
to have him.
well, you know what? They have those guys with the water in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Tell me not to use my hands on camera anymore. I don't know what this is, but they have these guys that have like water tanks, and they go and they hose everybody down on hot days.
Yeah, that's their dugout celebration. Yeah, they started with the sprinkler and everything.
They had in the outfield. They soak. So
Yeah.
anyway, the owner, and here's the promo, right? Just run this before I get in more trouble. By the way, I swore that was Steve Martin. You sent me this clip. I go, that's Steve Martin.
Yeah, first look.
Because I didn't really read that line. I'm like, oh, Steve Martin's going to be in an Oriole game? Makes no sense. So look at this guy. He's a billionaire. He doesn't need to do this.
Are you ready? I was born ready.
Good acting.
So all the owners do this.
He spent all his money on acting.
I spent how much money for this?
Yeah, there it is.
This reminds me of my bar mitzvah picture.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Good thing he made his money in business.
The bucket hat was pretty sweet.
Bucket hat. By the way, bucket hats are they're a thing. Look, I'm eyeing up one of those aviator ones, but then I realized that proves I'm 70, so I'm not going to get one.
There's actually a Star Wars themed one with the A's. For Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
I'll have to find.
I was there. It was fun.
Well, not at the ballpark in Oakland.
Oh, in Oakland. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be here soon. Don't worry, Ryan. They'll be here in Vegas. Don't worry. You weren't here yesterday.
Damn it, Ron.
Ron Futrell was here yesterday going, I was like, thank God Ryan isn't here. And you got all offended. You're like, what do you mean if you want to? I was like saying, because I didn't want you and Ron to fight.
It's not a fight.
My live comments stop with that commercial rules. I have to like if I hit the refresh button, maybe, right?
Maybe that'll work. Here's the Star Wars bucket hat.
Okay. Did you find it?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Oh, that's nice.
got
It's yellow, and you got the green Yoda there.
Yeah, Chewbacca a little bit further.
Chewbacca was at the ballpark on Saturday. Massive. At least 7 or 8 feet tall. Obviously not. I don't know. The question was he on stilts or was he looking through his neck, through a couple holes?
I'm not going to give away the mascot.
It was interesting. That was a lot of fun at the ballpark.
That's actually
big fun.
how I started at the ballpark.
What's that?
That's actually how I started at the ballpark.
Playing Chewbacca. Oh, you were the mascot.
I was in.
Were you Spruce the Goose?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, I've been in that suit.
Do you have footage of you being Sprucey?
There are pictures.
Okay, we got to see. Well, I guess it's pointless. We could show any picture and say Ryan's inside.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if this for a second. Oh yeah, it looked like
Crazy.
he was playing with a hose. Yeah. If you bet money line on whomever the White Sox and Rockies play, you'd be a successful gambler in 2024. Joey B, that is true, man. Keith Lau, Mini Dar, hope you cash, can always hedge and not get middled so hard. How long does the construction take? Yeah, the construction.
I got middled really hard.
Never not funny. Parles was here last Thursday and told us the construction begins like in a week on the F1 stuff.
Yeah, and then the race wouldn't be until October, November.
Yeah.
So it's.
Are they doing it in November again? Because it was
6
right
months.
around. They should do it Halloween. Oh.
Yes, because the strip isn't busy enough on Halloween.
Just want to cause a congestion. Already had Cavs in the game. They were down 10 money. Okay, Keith Minidar. I need the Mavs money line for a good parlay. Already had Cavs money line in the game, and they were down 10. Yeah, Cavs came back and took out the Magic. That was is that Donovan Mitchell on the Cavs, right?
Cavs, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
he's money
Sorry.
player.
It is in
T-Wolves,
November.
man. I'll root for the T-Wolves because they're fun to watch. All right, what else do we have?
Just wanted to bring up the F1 race will be in November.
Isn't it? Okay.
End of November. So November 21st, they're going to have the practice races, the qualifying on the 22nd, and then the actual race on the 23rd.
Well, when's Thanksgiving? That seems the same week as Thanksgiving, doesn't it? That would be insane
Last
to do
week
it
of
that
November,
week.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving's usually around there. Sorry to give you all these
usually. Yeah.
tasks. Does anyone? No one ever knows. Oh, how Thanksgiving? I know it's always. Is it the third Thursday or fourth Thursday? What is it in? Third
It is
Thursday.
The 20.
Oh, so it's a week. The race is a week before.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be foolish to do it then.
So
I mean, the F1 they just like ripping people off. I didn't think they wanted to mess with Thanksgiving.
messing with Black Friday.
Or Black Friday.
Or Black Friday. Yeah, good point. All right, what else do we have in posts?
So sticking with baseball, there was a fan at the Houston Astros game.
Yeah.
That they did a crowd
awesome.
cam, a kiss cam.
They do the kiss cam.
And this guy
Kind of feel like he wasn't supposed to be here with that girl.
didn't want to be on it.
She thinks it's hysterical. Oh, and I don't know.
No.
Oh, fudge. It's Ralphie from Christmas Story. Yeah, and as one Astro fan pointed out in the comments, will Houston ever not cheat at anything? I give credit where credit's due on jokes. I don't want to steal it. I don't know who it was, but very strong joke if you're watching. All right, what else do we have?
The last few episodes, we've done a good amount of jersey work.
We love the jerseys. We love the City Connects.
The Detroit Tigers released their City Connects. Their video was a little too long. And I didn't really want to edit it together. But there's Javi Baez wearing it, the navy with the blue tire marks down
Motor
the side.
City. Okay.
But they are pretty much the exact same jerseys as the Pistons Connect jerseys.
There you go.
And so, this guy says, way to mix it up, Nike. You guys truly are leaders in innovation.
The tire marks are cool. I like the piston ones. Are kind of cool.
Yeah, they were cool when they first did it.
Yeah, when they first didn't get ripped off. Oh, was it by another team in another city? Nope. Team right next door.
Yep.
Javi Baez. There's another. We talked about him, right? Just falling off a cliff, that guy?
Yeah. There was also a good amount of memes going around of how old he looks in that.
Yeah.
And when he was in Chicago, not even 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Detroit's aged
how
him.
much Detroit has aged him.
But again, you never know. These guys come over. You never know how old they are. He could be 3 or 4 years older. You never know. Was that the last one?
We've got more Caitlin Clark.
Oh
content.
yeah. Well, it seems like every day we're both looking, and Caitlin Clark comes in, and she can do no wrong. And here's her. This is Caitlin Clark, all dressed up at a function. She ducks under the rope to come over and sign some autographs. Look at the little girls' faces light up. That's unbelievable.
All wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys.
All wearing Caitlin Clark jerseys. She's like, I get a piece of this. I got a piece of that. I get more money on this one here. This is my. I mean, she's an industry. I mean, and the opening game is next week, I believe, for the WNBA. She played pretty well in her first preseason game.
Yep. She had 11 points, I think, in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah.
3 threes.
She's unbelievable. So we're going to be following her all summer, and she's going to continue to do amazing stuff. You, me, Jeff Parles, and Alex White will be golfing next Monday.
Yep. Charity golf event.
Ron Futrell is also on the board with Andrew Binder, who works here. I don't know why I'm pointing down, but
It's Folds of Honor, right?
I think it's Folds of Honor. Caden's saying yes, Folds of Honor. Great charity, great cause. We're very excited to be doing this. And you found a funny golf meme to connect our plug for that.
Yeah. So this woman had texted her husband, $5,000 removed from our bank account. I wonder what it could be, possibly hinting at maybe questions coming. And then he goes just something for next month. And then I'm so excited. And then he goes, glad you're excited for my boys' trip to Pebble Beach.
And then she says, I don't understand what that means.
Of course you don't.
What the Frank?
Frank.
Good show. So again, great job by everybody on the show. Thank you. Live chat room. Any other live chats here? Any last live chats? Let's see here. Auto draft and weekly lineups. Oh yeah. So Tommy wants to know if we want in on a WNBA fantasy draft. We'll talk to Alex tomorrow when she's here. We'll. I don't have time for that. I don't know enough about it, but he's starting a Punchies WNBA. Maybe we'll talk about it. Star Wars bucket hats keeping nerds from getting late since 1977. Again, I should pre-read these before I start reading them.
The one above that, Joey B.
Let's see. Hold on.
Talking about the rambutan.
They do look like Rocky Mountain oysters, which I have had when I was in Denver once. I had to try one. I took a bite and whatever. Then I got the hose out and cleaned my mouth out. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, the one and only Jacqueline Marfuji Caprio, who you can see, she's one of the MCs, does a great job, great social media follow. She's at the Magic Mike Live. She does that. Sometimes she does 3 shows on a Saturday. Fantastic job. Very funny comedian. She's making a return with Alex. And I believe some of our live chatters are like, you should get her and Alex on the show. Talk sports. It's going to happen tomorrow. Your dreams are coming true. Thursday and Friday. I have John Knight and Fraser Smith coming in. I'm not sure if they're both coming in on one day. They might have to for reasons. I'll find out tomorrow. But we have 3 more comics coming in. And Joe Bartnick slaughtered it today. So punch for the picks. Lines for the, nope, did it backwards. Punch for the comedy, which we've had a comedian on every day this week, and lines for the picks, which have been accurate. Joe Bartnick likes Dallas tonight. Ryan McCormick likes
the Cubs.
The Cubbies. And I said Take Verlander on the road at Yankee Stadium. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you watch and like and subscribe and do all that. Our followers are up over 1,600. It helps. Every time you think it doesn't help, it does. I'm going to go get some rambutan. We'll see you tomorrow. Live in Nevada, every show.